Hello everyone, this is Prashant Paliwal. I drive Finbit.io's Asia Pacific business. Finbit.io is a solution of InvestNet Yearly, a leading data aggregation and analytics company serving a number of countries and geographies across the world today. Millions of consumers like me and you today struggle to access their own financial data via third party apps. While data access remains an issue, the larger challenge is really around sharing your own financial data to access better financial services. I might just need a better loan rate on my own home. While the open banking revolution is now touching many countries, lots of banks and large financial institutions struggle to comply with those standards and API specifications. For majority of financial institutions, this data, customers' data, is stuck in legacy databases with cumbersome APIs that do not conform to the open banking standards. Security protocols and appropriate consent management practices and modules are almost always missing. What you're about to see now is a demo of our open banking platform and solution, which allows banks and financial institutions to open up their APIs according to the open banking standards and meet the surging demand of millions of those consumers waiting to access and share their data with appropriate consents. Okay, so what you see here is what a typical bank API might look like. We are working with Infosys Finacle that today powers core banking for numerous banks across India and multiple countries. We see a find account API here that might return some account details. Example, the account currency code here has its own internal bank parameter, account CCY code. Now let's take a look at how our transformation technology transforms this data API. Okay, so what you see here is how our transformation technology takes custom bank data schema with an example parameter like account currency code and maps it to a generic account currency data parameter defined by the open banking specification. It's as simple as configuring these mappings in a particular file. Now, let's take a look at what happens when you execute this transformation. Here, we see an account discovery API returning account details as its response as per the specification. Developers can come in and play around with this API and test responses. This is how a simple accounts API goes through transformation based on a particular specification. So, we will just go back to what a set of bank APIs might look like. As you can see, there are APIs to get account transactions, or maybe term deposits, recurring deposits, and other kinds of bank data. While data transformation is required for these APIs, additional open banking features and modules like implementation of security algorithms, efficient data flow APIs, and consent management modules are also required to comply with regulations. So let's take a look at how all this leads to an entire open banking sandbox. So here is a full open banking sandbox generated with the transformation. There is an API to manage customer authentication and accounts at multiple levels, including discovery, account addition, linking, and delinking. Custom data flow with relevant encryption algorithms is also in place. And finally, the most important piece being a consent management module and orchestration layer as per the specification. Our capability doesn't stop at the APIs. We have multiple SDKs which enables financial information users and fintechs to manage the data flows at multiple stages. What you see here is an app where a consent can be managed to a particular financial account. So for example, right here, an account has already been discovered, and what you see now is that the customer is ready to provide consent to that particular financial account. This consent has all the details as per the specification. For example, data life, how long, this data consent will live so that a financial information user can consume this data for the relevant financial service. So customer can agree and approve to move forward to provide this consent. And once that the consent is successfully generated, an end user financial information app or a fintech app could then finally make use of that consent to access the customer transactions. What we are showing here is another SDK which allows an end user to manage their personal finances. So now here, a customer is able to see all the transactions. Our technology powers the categorization of these transactions, massaging of all this data, as well as analytics and insights on top of this application for an end customer to make informed financial decisions. As you saw, how our open banking platform solution empowers all the key stakeholders in the open banking ecosystem. If you're a bank, financial institution, or a fintech really struggling with getting data access for your end consumers, please contact us at info@finbit.io. Let's drive the open banking revolution together and solve for millions and millions of consumers with their financial data needs. Thanks a lot for joining me today. Thank you.